Hey friends, happy Monday. We are starting a new unit today, and in this unit, we're going to be discussing shapes. So today, in session 1 on lesson 28, we are going to be recognizing and then drawing our shapes. So Mrs. Walker and I have already done number 1 for you. We're just going to talk you through our work, okay?
So it says Macy makes this collage. Use the key to color each shape. So our first job was to color all the circles red, all the triangles blue, all the squares yellow, and all the rectangles orange. So that was our first job. Okay, so we did that. Then our second job was to say how many of each shape does she use. So this is where we took our black and we crossed out as we counted. So when we did the triangles, we counted 1, 2, 3, 4. And instead of just saying 4 triangles, we said 4 blue triangles because that describes all the data that we know. We know it's a triangle, but we also know it's blue. Okay. And then we did circles, same way. They're red. We counted them 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 red circles.
Crossed them out as we went so that we didn't confuse any and we didn't forget to count any either. When we got to rectangles, we did the exact same thing. We crossed them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 6 orange rectangles. And then lastly, we had squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. There were 4 yellow squares. So that's all we had to do for this problem. Number 3 is just asking us to tell, or I'm sorry, not number 3, but number 1 is asking us to tell how many of each shape there are in Macy's collage. Well, that's exactly what we did here. She has 4 blue triangles, 3 red circles, 6 orange rectangles, and 4 yellow squares. Okay.
All right, so now we're going to talk about some very key, am I there?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm sorry, my internet must be freezing. We're going to talk about some very key vocabulary words. Now, second graders, these are important. You need to learn them. So we're going to talk about sides. We're going to talk about vertex or vertices, and we're going to talk about angles. Okay, so when we look at this shape, Mrs. Kraft has color coordinated them to help us with what the arrow is pointing to. So it says, which color arrow is pointing to a side? So when we draw a shape, which one is the side, what color? And we already color coordinated, it is orange. So we know that the sides are what make up our shape.
And it's the lines, right? And I put a line here to count them just to help us, okay? All right, a vertex is a point. So a vertex is where 2 of the sides come together and meet, and that's where we would put a point. So if we looked at this shape, which color is showing where each of the points are?
Red.
Red, good. Okay. Lastly, we have angles.
Look at the angles. So
angles
we look at
on the inside. So a vertex is where the 2 lines meet and touch, right? The angle is on the inside of where those 2 lines meet, and it can form either a square like this, or it can be more open or less open than a square, and then we would use that curvy line right here. So that shows the angle. Is that how you would describe it, Mrs. Walker?
Yes, I would. Very good.
What color?
So it looks like those are green.
Good.
All right, so now it says the shape formed by 2 sides at an angle is a vertex. Remember the 2 sides at an angle. How many vertices does the shape have? So the best part is we just get to count the points. So how many points are there?
So I'm going to count the red, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I counted 5.
Yes.
Now, sometimes you might want to cross them out as you count them because it would be easy to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and forget where you started and say 6, 7. Oh, wait, where? So it might help to cross them out, okay?
Hey, Mrs. Kraft on there too, would you put 5 vertices for me? Because remember when we see those words, how many we have to have a label?
Oh, sure.
Just for us to remember those things that we've talked about.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, so lastly, we're going to be talking about quadrilaterals. So a quadrilateral is any shape that has 4 sides, so the lines, right? 4 vertices, the points, and 4 angles, so the inside. Okay, now we need to name a quadrilateral shape. So if I was going to just name the easiest one that came to my mind, I think of this shape right here. 4 sides, 4 points, and also 4 of these angles inside. What do we call this shape?
So that shape is called a square.
You're right, a square. Can you think of another quadrilateral?
I was just looking around this room that I'm in right now, and I actually see my door, and it looks like the door is a rectangle.
Nice. So a rectangle. Sorry. Just going to put R-E-C-T for rectangle.
And really, there's one more. And remember, this one is not one that you may not have heard of or have talked about very much. But the other one is a rhombus. And Mrs. Kraft had a great example. She said it looks like a kite, and it really does. So it's called a rhombus.
And it's spelled kind of funny. Might also call it a diamond. Rhombus.
Sorry. The diamond, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Rhombus, yes.
A pentagon has 5 sides, 5 vertices, and 5 angles. Is the shape above a pentagon? So let's go back and look. 5 sides, 5 vertices, 5 angles. Okay,
So
let's do sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
And finally, angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So does it have 5 sides, vertices, and angles?
Yep.
Okay, therefore that shape is a pentagon. If we were going to explain how we know it's a pentagon, we just say it has 5 sides, 5 vertices, and 5 angles. All right, so now we're going to move on to our green page for today. Our green page is page 685, 686. We have done the graphic organizer for you, but we'll talk you through it really quick. So we have a word, which is going to be a shape that we are defining and drawing a picture of, okay? So a circle is our first word, and a circle is just a flat, round shape. There are no sides, no vertices, and no angles. What's next?
And then a triangle is a flat shape with 3 sides and 3 corners, or that big word is vertices, and we can see that in our picture.
A rectangle is a flat shape with 4 sides and 4 corners. So I went ahead and drew that in our picture as well.
And then the last one is a square, and it is the same as a rectangle, a flat shape with 4 sides and 4 square corners. But the difference is all the sides are the same length. That's how we know the difference between a square and a rectangle. All the sides are the same length. All right, and then on your back page, you're going to color coordinate just like we did on our first example, and you got this. Have a great day.
Have a good day. Bye.